Hi, I'm Mark from ablepaws.co.uk, and in this video we're going to take a look at these pet steps from Neekor. By the end of this review, you'll know whether these pet steps are the right pet steps for you, your pet and your circumstances. Okay, so before we take a closer look at these Neekor pet steps, we need to get them unboxed. So let's do that now. Let's see how easy it is, and then we can start having a look at the quality and the functionality of these pet steps. Okay, so in the box, it looks like that you get the lids of the box itself. You get some basic instructions there, which we've got English that side, so we should be able to follow that. We're going to put these together in a moment. You've got your sides, and also you've got your inserts as well. Okay, so let's get this put together. Okay, so what we need to do is first of all just fold out these steps. So you've got the 3 steps there, and then you have these inserts that go inside. So you've got a little tag there, so make sure that's pointing up in case you want to take them out at any point. Just pop them in like so. So there is Velcro here which holds them together, but you're also going to use this nut and bolt here to put them together as well. What's really handy, they do provide this Allen key which has a cross-headed screwdriver on, so you don't actually need any tools to assemble these Neekor pet steps. So what I'm going to do is try and just line them up as much as I can, like so. Actually, okay, so those two do have Velcro on, this one doesn't have Velcro. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to screw these together. So what it does say in the instructions is not to over tighten at this stage, so just do them loosely up. So they do seem to have given me an extra nut and bolt there. Okay, so this one's got the logo on, so I'm going to put that down on the lower step. So the reason you're not doing them up tight is because you need to get that in between the 2 steps there. And then that one goes on, like so, and then you've got your top one that goes on at the end. Okay, so what it does say then is just to tighten them up. So I'm going to leave that in and just do that up like so. And then the same with this one here. Just tighten them up like so. And that is it, that's pretty much it. So that's assembled, that's our pet steps assembled here. Okay, so let's take a closer look at the specifications. So let's take a closer look at these pet steps from Neekor. So I've been looking at 3 different pet steps. I've looked at some foam pet steps, some plastic foldable pet steps, but these are the only pet steps that I've found that have storage. So these are the like wooden pet steps, if you like. So on first impressions, when we were unboxing it just then, I did find that they felt a little bit flimsy, but now that they've come together, now that they've all been put together, they feel a lot more secure and a lot more sturdy. They actually feel more sturdy, I think, in terms of your pet going up. The stability of the pet steps is more stable than the foam pet steps that I've tested. So what makes these unique is the fact that they have storage, so you can lift the lids off here. You can put your dog toys in or anything that you want to store in here. They do market these pet steps as being foldable. However, taking them apart and folding them down is not going to be as straightforward as, say, the plastic pet steps that we have there. So though you can fold them down, you're going to have to undo the screws and then reassemble, as you saw at the beginning of this video, each time you want to use them. So I think the fact that they have storage is probably more practical than trying to fold them down and put them away. So that's the first thing. The second thing I really like about these pet steps is that they really do feel good quality. So this is a nice velvet finish to them. The stitching seems really good. They're all edged as well on the lids. So I do think these are going to last quite a long time, actually. They do feel really good quality. So in terms of the dimensions of these steps, we are looking at 30 centimetres in height My sofa is 40 centimetres, so that last step is just up onto the sofa. In terms of the width, we've got 40 centimetres, which is pretty standard across all of the pet steps. So the foam are 40 and the plastic are 40 as well. What's nice here, you've got just a 10 centimetre step. So for my small Maltese, we'll be seeing how well she uses the steps later. That 10 centimetres shouldn't be an issue for her. So that's a nice shallow step there. What is good about these steps as well is there is a 25 centimetre step. So that's a really good platform for them to get onto, for my small dog to get onto. She can pause there before she goes up onto the next step if she needs to. So that's a really nice wide step. So the only thing to consider when you're buying pet steps is to ensure that you do have enough room in front of your sofa. So if you have a coffee table here. So in terms of the length of these steps, we are looking at around 70 centimetres or 28 inches in length, maybe a little bit more there. So we've got about 73 centimetres, about 29 inches in length. So make sure you do have that that clearance there in front of your sofa or your bed or anywhere that you want to put these steps. Okay, so that's it in terms of the steps themselves. So let's go and get my Maltese now, my little Maltese dog. She's 10 years old, she's completely blind. She managed the foam pet steps really, really well, but this will be the first time that she's used these Neekor pet steps. Okay, so let's go and get her and see how well she uses them. Okay, Lily, come here, good girl. So when you're teaching your pet to use these pet steps, or any pet steps really, it really is about being patient, it's about positive reinforcement, it's about reward and making the whole experience fun as well, so they don't get stressed. And just take your time. It may even take several days to get your dog or your pet to use the pet steps. Some are just going to run straight up with any chance of their favourite treat. So the reason we've got the pet steps here is because Lily here, she's always trying to get up onto the sofa, and we just thought it would be nice that she can get herself up and down onto the sofa. So let's now try and get her up on the steps. So if you do want some more information about how to train your pet to use pet steps, there is a video that I've done, and there's also an article that I've done. There'll be links in the description below this video. Okay, so let's try and get her up onto the first step. So Lily, come here, darling. Up. Yes, good girl. So just plenty of reward, even just for one step, even just for that small achievement that they've done. So you can see there, having that wider step, she's actually sat down on that step. So this is really, really good that these are nice and wide. Okay, we're going to try and go up onto the second step now. So I'm just tempting her with a treat. Come on then, up. So remember, she is completely blind, but she will feel the edge there, and she'll know that she's on the edge. So it will take her time to get used to them. Okay, hold on, darling. If you are worried and you are worried about safety, just put a lead on your pet and just use the lead so that you've got that little bit of extra control over them. So come on then, we're going to go another one. Here, darling. So I'm just going to use some sound to get her up. And a treat, nice reward there. And then the final one up onto the sofa. Up, come up. Yes, good girl. And she's done it, and lots of praise because you did well, you good girl. And then we're going to now try and come down. Okay, Lily, come down. Here. Yeah. So she's just used her nose there to make sure that she's not just stepping down onto nothing and going to fall. So she uses her nose to feel that she can actually step down. What probably would have been a better idea would have been for me to have bought the pet steps that were slightly higher so that they're actually level with the sofa. She can feel that transition between the sofa and the steps. Okay, so we're going to come down. So I'm just going to make a little bit more sound over here. Come on then, down. So there, she touched her nose just to feel that there is something to step down onto. And down again. Good girl. Yeah, good girl. And then a little treat. And then the final one down onto the floor. Come on then. Yes, down. So again, that reassurance that there's something there for her to go down onto. And that's it. She's down. Come here. Good girl. You good girl. And that really is it. So over time, Lilly or your pet will get used to the steps and they'll be much more confident at going up and down. So you can see there that these Neekor pet steps did a really, really good job. You can see there that because of the treats, she really just wants to go again. Good girl. Okay, so what I'm going to do, just take her off. I just want to show you something underneath the steps as well, which is really, really important. And that is this non-slip surface. You can see here that this is a rubber, it's a cloth, but it has lots of rubber dots on it. And you can see there that on my shiny floor, they really do grip, and there was actually no movement there whatsoever. If you've got a slightly larger dog, they tend, when they get up onto this top step, they tend to kick back, and you can see there that this is not going to slide, this is not going to slip away and cause any issues. So really, really impressed there with these pet steps. They're nice and soft, really good feel, nice wide step for the dog to get onto and feel secure so they can stop there. So all in all, really, really impressed the first impressions of these Neekor pet steps. Okay, so I hope you could see there how practical these pet steps are and how well my Maltese, she's barely used pet steps. She has used the foam ones before when we made the video on those, video review of those pet steps. But you could see there how easy it was for me to get her to use them, how practical they were. That nice wide step is really good for her, that she can stop on a step with both paws, she can sit, she can take her time, and she can work up and down the pet steps. And over time, she will get more and more confident with them as time goes on. So with all my product reviews, I do like to go over the pros and cons of everything that I review, and I give you my honest opinion about the quality, the functionality of anything that I do review. So with these Neekor steps, I really like the material. It's a nice soft velvet material. They really are well padded, and these covers are washable, which is really nice. So you can use a lint roller just to get the pet hair off, but you do have the option to wash these covers, which is really good. So the other obvious advantage of these pet steps over the foam and the plastic is that they have storage. So each step has is basically a box that you can put your pet's toys in, or anything that you want to put in. That's a really good space-saving feature, because these are meant to be foldable. Yes, you can dismantle them, and you could see how easy it was at the beginning of this video, how easy it is to assemble the pet steps, but I just don't think it's practical to every evening to be folding these down. I just don't think that's going to happen. So the other great point about these steps is the fact that the base is non-slip. This is so important, particularly on a floor here, on a tiled floor, or on a laminate floor, for example. And this is actually one of the main causes of injuries with dogs jumping down off of sofas. They're fine to jump up and down, but they tend to slip. So if you're not going to use pet steps, I would definitely recommend just putting down a rug with a non-slip matting underneath, so that rug doesn't slip when they jump down. But the better alternative is actually to use pet steps, so they're transitioned down, particularly if they have pre-existing conditions, or they're just older, or that the sofa is simply just too high for them to jump down. So they really, really are practical, these steps from Neekor. Okay, so that's the positive points of these steps from Neekor. What about the negative points? So the first thing I would say is they advertise these as being foldable. As I mentioned earlier, I don't think that's going to be practical on a daily basis to be folding these away every evening if you need the space. You could see there at the beginning of this video, the assembly process was really easy, no problems, but I just don't think you're going to be able to do that every evening. That's compensated for by the fact that you can use this as storage, so you can put the toys in and just slide them away and put them over in the corner if need be. The other minor issue is that the colour. So they come in this grey, and that is it. So if the grey doesn't fit your decor, it fits perfectly here with mine, but if it doesn't fit, then I'm afraid you're going to probably have to look for some other pet steps if you want a different colour. The third issue is it's not an issue really, it's just something to be aware of, is the weight restriction on these. So this is around 27, 28 kilograms maximum, which is around 60 pounds. So naturally for my little Maltese here, it's more than enough, but just make sure that your pet, or the pet that is going to be using these steps, comes under that weight limit. And that is it really. So all in all, the negatives are very minor. Very impressed with these steps. In terms of comparing them to the other pet steps, the foam pet steps, for example, these are more stable. I did think that my Maltese here, being blind, would struggle a little bit with the 90-degree steps. They're more of a curved step, but she doesn't. She touches her nose down on the step because she's blind. She feels to make sure that there is something to step down onto. So these steps work just as well as the foam steps. The plastic steps are foldable, so you basically very easy to fold and just to put away. That's the benefit of them. But in terms of the steps, I would say these are as good as, if not slightly better than the foam ones, and also the plastic ones as well. Okay, I hope you found this video review useful of these Neekor pet steps. If you did, could I please ask that you click the thumbs up button below this video? It'd be much appreciated. And why not click that subscribe button as well, so you get a notification when I release any future videos. If you'd like to see a video and an article about how to teach your pet to use pet steps, there's a link in the description below this video. Also, there's a link to a complete guide to pet steps, which compares the foam, the plastic, and these wooden pet steps, so that you can be assured that you're getting the right pet steps for your pet and for your particular circumstances. Thanks very much for watching this video review, and I'll see you in the next one.